The story begins with a domestic and business conflict. Sahan's father, Ghazi Yusuf, was furious with their longtime housemaid Chanda Nishit. He accused her of gaining Sahan's sympathy and taking undue advantage of it. He warned her sternly that Sahan was no longer a child, and if he ever felt this was happening again, Chanda would no longer be needed in the house. Hearing this, Chanda burst into tears. When Sahan saw his nanny-like mother figure Chanda crying, his heart filled with pain. Chanda tried to calm him, saying she was just a servant in the house, but Sahan, overcome with emotion, told her that she had as much right over him as a real mother would. Sahan went to his father and poured out all his grievances from childhood to the present. He reminded him how Ghazi had never celebrated his birthdays, had left him alone during his illnesses, and had never supported him in school fights. Sahan made it clear that in all those difficult times, only Chanda had been his support. Ghazi Yusuf dismissed it all as emotional drama, claiming Chanda had done everything for the sake of her job and money. But Sahan refused to listen and clearly told his father not to interfere in their relationship anymore. Meanwhile, there was unrest in Ghazi Yusuf's criminal and business circles. A police officer named Iqbal came to meet him and informed him that there was heavy pressure regarding the murder of a man named Hashim because someone had recorded a video of the body being dumped. Ghazi Yusuf and his right-hand man Sikandar threatened Iqbal in a menacing tone, forcing him to delete the video and stay silent. Ghazi Yusuf's man Zakaria informed him that they had bought all the properties in the area except for one famous Turkish restaurant owned by a woman. Ghazi Yusuf instructed Zakaria to make her a good offer, and if she refused, to use force, but to make sure Sahan didn't find out as he was busy with his social welfare work. Zakaria went to the Turkish restaurant and offered the owner, Miriam, a huge sum of money to sell the land. Miriam refused outright without even hearing the full offer. She said this place was her life and like her maternal home, and she would never sell it. Zakaria, furious, reported Miriam's arrogance to Ghazi Yusuf, who reminded him that this was Karachi, and here his name carried weight. Meanwhile, Sahan met his friend Alif and unloaded the burden on his heart. Alif explained her philosophy about life, destiny, and relationships, advising him to move on from the pain of the past. Later that night, while Alif was driving on a deserted road, her car broke down. Sahan happened to pass by and offered help, but the proud and stubborn Alif refused to accept it. Sahan left, but shortly afterward, a group of robbers arrived and snatched Alif's phone, watch, and chain. When Sahan returned, Alif angrily accused him of sending the robbers himself so he could play the hero and gain her sympathy. Sahan was shocked and upset, calling her a psycho. Just then, a bunch of thugs showed up and started harassing Alif. Sahan pulled out his gun and confronted them. The thugs immediately recognized him as their Seth's son and mentioned Zakaria, saying the car belonged to Zakaria's brother. Sahan beat the thugs badly and forcibly put Alif in his car to take her to the hospital. On the way, they argued bitterly. Alif told him she would never forgive him and would get her stolen belongings back from him. Sahan accepted the challenge. Back home, Sahan went to Miriam and complained about the ungrateful girl, Alif, and her rudeness. Miriam praised his kindness and bravery, which improved Sahan's mood. At the end of this part, Sahan went to his father with Zakaria and his thugs' misdeeds, complaining that these people were doing gangster activities in the city in the company's name. Ghazi Yusuf angrily scolded Sahan instead, saying his useless sympathies were forcing them to bow before petty people and damaging their reputation. Sahan, disappointed, said that his father had always treated every relationship as a business transaction. In the final scene, Ghazi Yusuf himself went to Miriam's Turkish restaurant. He placed a blank check in front of her and told her in a threatening tone to settle the matter honorably. Miriam tore the check into pieces and threw it in his face. Ghazi Yusuf's anger reached its peak. Story continuation. Miriam tore Ghazi Yusuf's blank check into pieces and threw them on his face, angrily declaring that she would never sell the place at any price. Ghazi Yusuf threatened her with serious consequences and left. After that, Ghazi Yusuf came face to face with his old business rival Lala. There was a heated exchange between them. Lala mocked Ghazi Yusuf's old age, while Ghazi reminded him that Lala had failed in his attempt to frame him by sending the video of Hashim's murder to the police officer so he could build a plaza on the hotel land. Ghazi warned Lala that whoever plays with him ends up becoming a pawn himself. He taught Lala a lesson about staying alive and left. Still furious, Ghazi Yusuf returned to Miriam's Turkish restaurant. Miriam was surprised to see him again, but Ghazi's tone had completely changed. After listening to her, he said that people who are lonely in their hearts understand the pain of other lonely people. He called Miriam his sister and assured her that neither he nor any of his men would ever look toward her land again. He gave her his number and promised that whenever she needed protection for her memories, she should call her brother. On the other side, Sihan visited Miriam, and she told him that a company had tried to buy her land, but she had refused. Sihan told her that if she ever wanted to sell the place, she should sell it to him because he loved that spot. Miriam assured him that everything was fine now, and he shouldn't worry. Alif returned home exhausted from the hospital. When she drank water from a bottle, her mother scolded her. Alif asked her mother if she had called her elder sister Ilham. She complained why her mother didn't ignore Ilham when she was always rude. Her mother became emotional and said that Ilham was the pacemaker of her heart, and Alif was her heart itself. She could never remove her children from her heart. Sihan complained to his father Ghazi Yusuf about not being included in business partnership meetings. In the conversation, he told him about a girl, Alif, who considered him a fraud and a thug, but that he had taught her a good lesson. Meanwhile, Alif reached the police station and tried to file an FIR against Sihan for breaking her car, harassing her, and sending robbers to snatch her gold and money. The inspector got scared upon hearing Ghazi Yusuf's name and said it was not easy to mess with such a big family. Alif threatened to go to the media and social media. The inspector immediately called Ghazi Yusuf's PA Zakaria and informed him that a girl was trying to register an FIR against Sihan. Ghazi Yusuf, upon hearing the demand of 780,000 rupees, including compensation for manufacturing and mental stress, instructed Zakaria to give her 1 million rupees in cash on the spot and close the matter. Zakaria reached the police station and handed Alif 1 million rupees. Alif took the money as her right. To taunt Sihan, she got his number from the inspector and messaged him that she had taken the money that was her right and would now party with her friends using it. Sihan saw the message and boiled with rage. He asked his father why he had given her the money. He then went to Miriam and said he would not spare that girl. He decided to scare her by placing 2 or 3 cars behind her. Sihan did exactly that and assigned guards to follow Alif's car. But instead of getting scared, Alif called Sihan and sarcastically thanked him for the free security, which frustrated Sihan even more. Sihan then tried another plan. He had Alif called back to the police station, where the inspector accused her of blackmailing a respectable family like Ghazi Yusuf's and taking 1 million rupees. He demanded she return the money or face an FIR. Alif, instead of getting intimidated, gave the inspector a piece of her mind, saying he was blackmailing her under pressure from a big man. She threatened to expose everyone on social media. She left the station while sarcastically saying salam to Ghazi Yusuf. Sihan's plan failed again. Alif returned home worried that if an FIR was actually registered, her sick mother would find out and wouldn't be able to bear the shock. In another twist, an old family story of Ghazi Yusuf came to light. A woman named Surya reminded him of past wounds, saying that a man who deceives in love is shameless. She revealed that Ghazi Yusuf was once engaged to Gul Meena, but he married someone else for his own benefit when the opportunity came. Gul Meena committed suicide because in their family, a woman's fate allowed only one man. Ghazi Yusuf suffered a severe headache after remembering these old memories. In the final scene, Alif took her mother to the doctor for an appointment. The doctor called Alif aside and told her about her mother's medical report. Her heart arteries had narrowed severely and blood flow was extremely limited. He said it was a miracle that she was still living a normal life. Alif, crying, said they had told her that once a donor was found, her mother would get better. The doctor expressed regret that there were very few registered donors in the country, and they could only hope for the best. Alif became extremely sad and heartbroken in the hospital corridor after learning about her mother's life-threatening illness.